Hey guys, just want to bring up a question for everybody who's a comic book fan or a fan of the Batman universe, old, new, within the comic books or TV medium or the movie medium, even non-related Batman movies that so happen to tie in with some of the characters, and that is Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. And pretty much, I'm just gonna ask: do you consider her as a villain or anti-villain, or just pretty much in the middle? I'm not gonna say hero because she just doesn't fit what a superhero or a crime fighter would fit in terms of saving people, helping people out when it's needed, doing something without any reward. But I don't consider her as a villain either. I consider her more in the middle, or in this case, an anti-villain, because during the comic book series and even in the TV series, animated series, more so in animated series than it is in the Adam West series, she can attempt to do the right thing or choose to protect a certain area where need be. However, she doesn't fall in the same code as Batman. And that's one thing I liked about the betrayal that Anne Hathaway did, is that she's not afraid to use a gun. And in the comic book series, it's the same way with Selina Kyle. She's not afraid to take a life, especially if it warrants it. In some of the cases, like the Black Mass, the Black Man became a threat to her, and in fact, to the point where she actually targeted her family members, killed her brother-in-law, I believe, and caused some serious psychological damage to his wife. I believe he forced her to eat his remains, some of his remains, which was very gruesome in the comics. Actually, the Kyle took revenge on him, not once but twice, where she eventually killed him, shot him. This is what solidifies her in the middle. But that's just not just that series alone. There's a lot of personal things that happened to her, where she was forced to give up her child, to the point where it was so painful she wanted to forget all the good deeds she had, which some people thought that was not a good idea. Her romantic relationship with Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, also with the stuff that she has done, pretty much working together with villains, as well as even working together with heroes. So she's always betrayed at that person in the middle. She is a cat burglar, of course, but she's also one of those characters that will not harm an innocent person unless that person either threatens her or someone close to her. And it was kind of a weird aspect that even to this day, when I look her up in the profile, they still consider her as a villain. Harley Quinn, I consider as a villain. Poison Ivy, I consider as a villain. I never really felt that Catwoman was a villain. I consider her as an anti-villainess, if you want to say, or just someone in the middle, because she does attend from time to time to help Batman in situations, and that's why I always find it odd that she still is categorized. Sorry, I have a bad throat today. She's still categorized as being a villain, where in reality is he's really not. Now, granted, the Adam West series, she was pretty much a villain, but there were even at times in the end she seems to never really had this hatred for Batman. It was always some kind of on and on situation. She didn't like Batgirl, that's for sure, but she was more betrayed as a villain in the Adam West series, whereas for the Batman Returns movie, as for the animated series, even the one where it was Patient Phillip, not Selina Kyle, in the very forgetful Catwoman film, she was always pretty much in conflict. She wants to do the right thing, but then again, there's always other temptation. She doesn't. She wants to fight Batman, but she doesn't really want to kill anybody and any innocent people. So there's always this kind of a big conflict. I will say this: that most of the comics, they don't portray her as a person who is ruthless, where she wants to take a life. She will take a life. Don't get me wrong. Unless if it threatens her or anyone close to her, but she never really went as far as, I'm going to blow up this building with a lot of people in it, or hurt an innocent child or anything else. He's always kept her motivation was always kept very simple, and that was the one thing I always find very interesting about Catwoman. She's one of the most popular female characters in the Batman universe. She has her own comic book. I don't know now if she does with the New 52, but at the time she had her own comic book. There was a lot of people who voted her as one of the most popular characters in the Batman series and one of the most popular comic characters, period. The only other character that seemed to gain popularity very strangely in the last 10 years was Harley Quinn. But even then, she doesn't have nearly anywhere close to the status she has with Selina Kyle's character. And that's actually telling something. If a character that's not a Batman character, that is actually has been betrayed somewhat as a neutral or anti-villainous, to have that popularity and have people like this character, that says something. That says a lot. The only other character that has a female character that has a very huge popularity is the second Batgirl, which is Barbara Gordon. And yes, I say second because she was not the first Batgirl in the Batman series, but she is the most popular one and the most recognizable one that has evolved over the years. So let's keep that in mind. But in any case, this was the one character that I always find fascinating because, for one, to this day, even the experts say she's a villain. But I really can't see it. I'm not saying she's a hero, but I think she's pretty much of an anti-villain or in the middle. And that's because of a lot of stories that I have read about her, a lot of adaptations about her, and just how she was betrayed in the big screen and and within the universe of the Batman series. So to say that she's still a villain, I don't see it. Maybe there's something I'm missing that that pretty much cements her as being a villain. Yeah, I know she worked with the likes of the Penguin, Jokers, all those villains, but she really never really crossed over that line as being that character that she is a cold-blooded villain. You know what the Joker is, you know what the Penguin is, you know what Bane is, you know what all these villains are, and she doesn't fit those categories as those villains. She doesn't even fit the category of Poison Ivy. And to me, it has to have some kind of a permanent stamp saying, okay, I don't know why she's a villain. I consider her more as an anti-villain. But you guys may disagree about that. So I really like to know your opinion on this one. I really like to know what you guys think about the Catwoman character. Or do you think she is a villain? Give me a reason why. I like to know your own opinion. I'm not here to challenge it. I like to know what your opinion on this. Do you feel that she deserve that villain status, or do you think she's an anti-villain, or just someone that's a neutral? She's not with the goods, she's not with the villains, but she's not with Batman fully. She's pretty much her own character. Give me your own opinion of this. I'd like to know. But until then, this is J77 saying take care, be safe, and I'd love to hear from your comments soon.